So what do I want to talk about? I don't know. How do you know? How do you know when you feel God? Like how did the scriptwriters know that it was God speaking through them? I mean, Jesus, the Anointed One, he sure as hell didn't write any of his prophecies or words down. No, it was his apostles who transcribed all of the stuff that he was saying. What about Moses? How did they know that he was speaking the word of God? Well, the easy answer is, well, I'm Moses and this is the word of God. I mean, he was, I guess, presumably pretty persuasive. Was he giving off some type of greenish glow as he was saying what he was saying? How did they know? How did they know inside of themselves? So then Jesus comes along and says, I am God. Well, that's pretty straightforward. It's pretty obvious. He seemed to be convinced, I suppose. So assuming he was a light body, my question is, how did the script writers know that he was speaking the word of God? These scribes, I mean, did they not have to look inside of themselves? Look inside of their hearts? But yet, at the same time, there would have had to have been some connection. Connection with the objective. Tapping into something external. Would that not be a prerequisite towards identifying the fact for themselves that this was a man who was saying the true word of God? Wouldn't it be a necessary foundation? I mean, it's like tapping in, as I've discussed before. Tapping into some external flow of space-time consciousness. I mean, these scriptwriters would have, to be not only truly believing Jesus, but also feeling the touch or the breath of God, or the objective truth, that which we are subject to, within our sliced, sentient understanding they would have had to have been tapping in to their reflection pool of consciousness, these scriptwriters. But I guess what I'm really asking is, how do you know when you're hearing and feeling the Word of God? This feeling of escaping your own consciousness cage and beginning to transist with the consciousness around you, as opposed to two clouds colliding with each other, two consciousness clouds, and being basically incidental. I think it's more of a flipping of the switch or turning of the transistors to on position, opening the nodes in order to fulfill your entire light body as though you're a vessel, a battery. And then once these nodes are opened up, the current can flow through. The positive and the negative. It's the current flowing, magnetism, pushing and pulling. But it's this notion that I'm heading towards of being able to reconcile religious truth, or Bible truth, or the Word of God, with the actual Word of God. It's the same thing at some points in consciousness. It's completely reconcilable from my perspective. It's something that you feel. The knowing, the deep down knowing in the heart, where you're looking in yourself but also aware of the outside. Not something you are projecting. Like if you look up at the sky, but you're not looking at the sky. You're aware of the sky. You're feeling the sky and smelling the wind as it blows on your face. Not allowing any humanistic distractions to get in the way. Because humans are extremely susceptible to mind control. And not by the government in this situation. But people are not aware of that. They're largely unaware of that. But their eyes will look at you. Not knowing. So looking at the sky and not transposing yourself as a figure transposes itself on a background, not transposing your consciousness onto that background, but instead being firmly rooted on the ground that you're standing, on this massive planet being firmly rooted on the ground while looking up at the sky. As the sky flows through the ground, back through you, it's flowing through the ground